You'll love it. So, all right. Well, Nick, our next guest is lined up and ready to roll. Nick's on hold. How'd that happen? Nick, you there?
Hey,
All right.
let me ask you a quick question here, buddy.
Okay.
He said that they were talking to him about doing a ATV or a four-wheeler jump over a helicopter without a landing ramp.
That
Right?
sounds painful. Yeah.
Isn't that just falling?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, I was confused because that seems to me like just flying up in the air and then falling down. That's not really jumping anything.
It's like, well, it's just hoping you made enough distance to clear those blades.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
you can
gravity
fall
stops.
however you want. Yeah. I don't know. But it's weird because the dude Super Joe, they showed like a home movie type thing of him from like, I think it was the early 80s. And he jumped 3 helicopters out in a field with no landing ramp.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. But,
All right.
So Brandy's ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this. Let's welcome to Totally Driven Radio, finally, Miss Brande Roderick. How you doing, Brandy?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so glad to finally be talking with you.
Yeah.
We've been trying to make this work for a while, haven't we?
Yes, well, this has been like the night of trying to make things work, and everything's working so far, so we're doing good.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, you guys, I was listening a little bit real quickly to the guy that was just on. Was he related to Evel Knievel?
No, he was a guy who grew up loving Evel Knievel, and now he's like an Evel Knievel daredevil jumping four-wheel motorcycles. And they just aired on Discovery Channel last week a show that featured him and 2 other daredevils.
Oh, crazy.
But here's even crazier. Like, he's been doing this for 22 years, technically professionally, but really not getting paid for it.
Yeah, so he loves it. That's good. I mean, he's doing it because he loves it, and now he's finally, hopefully, getting paid for it. Something he loves.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah. But I was just flabbergasted. I couldn't believe, like, this guy's putting his life on the line, and he's not even collecting a paycheck out of it. He's getting popcorn. He was getting popcorn. I don't like popcorn
you really
that
love
much.
your job.
Right. Well, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm sure most people know you, like, either from your Playboy days or the Baywatch days, and I really didn't get to know you until Celebrity Apprentice. Which I am a huge fan of that show. I love that show.
Oh, good. I do, too. It's a great show. It's exciting.
It is. Like, I just can't stop watching when that's on. I love when it's on. And it's got to be the celebrity one. Like, I don't care about the everyday people one. But because the celebrity one, you really get to see a side of you guys that you wouldn't normally see.
Right. Yeah, definitely, because you have people that, I mean, obviously it's unscripted, so you have that aspect of it where a lot of the celebrities are actors, so you're seeing them more in scripted scenarios. So you have that aspect as well as the fact that you're working 16 to 18-hour days, six days a week, so you're not getting much sleep. So you have these people that are totally sleep deprived and irritable, and so there's all these crazy things that happen from that. And they just put you in these strenuous situations. So, yeah, it's definitely other sides.
And the one thing, like, it shows where people, naturally, like a celebrity, people are going to put you guys on a pedestal and think, you're a lot better than us normal people. But you watch a show like that, and you can see that, you guys are just normal people. And you see the bickering.
Some of us.
Oh, well.
Some of us are normal. But anyway, go on.
Are we talking about Gary Busey?
Well, we could be talking about a lot of them. There's been a lot of seasons, so. But anyway, continue, please.
But you see,
so we're normal.
You see a normal side of you guys, but you also see a side that's a smart side, like a side where you guys are actually showing your creative side and your smarts and your thinking and stuff that you wouldn't expect. A lot of out of the box things for you guys.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's part of the draw to it is seeing what the producers are going to come up with for us to do and how we handle it. And it's always interesting to see how the celebrities handle each thing. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I mean, when you're working alongside like a Gary Busey or a Dennis Rodman, I mean, how what's going through your head?
Well, it's a little nerve-wracking when maybe they're the leaders. But it's so hard to say. It's just Dennis is he's a very creative person, believe it or not, and I'm sure you saw a lot of that actually in the show.
Sure.
He can be very creative. And same thing with Gary Busey. Gary Busey can be very creative. The only thing is sometimes that creativity kind of goes off into its own world sometimes, gets a little crazy, but thinking outside the box is good sometimes, but sometimes it's just so far outside the box that it makes it a little bit more distracting. So it's a benefit as well as a distraction. I mean, it goes both ways.
When you see Dennis Rodman going to North Korea, do you just shake your head like, what's he thinking?
I don't think he's really thinking. I think he goes with the flow and he looks at it as a job and he goes to do his job and he comes home. I don't think he's really thinking of it as, the way he should be thinking about it. I think he's just looking at it like, it's a job. And he goes and does his job.
Now, and how about like Donald Trump? I mean, it's got to be almost kind of, I guess, intimidating. That whole aspect of being around the Donald and trying to, impress him, the businessman that Donald is.
Going into the boardroom, you're sweating, like no matter what. I mean, yeah, there's a ton of lights on you, but he does have a tendency to make you sweat when you're in that boardroom. He's very intense. He does that stare down, that glare. Then, of course, he asks you those horrible questions. Who's the weakest link, and nobody wants to answer that unless you're a complete bitch. Can I say that? Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely, yes. You can say you can say whatever you want.
Okay. Because, like, a normal, nice person isn't going to want to answer that question, so you're just sweating bullets because you know the question's going to come. So, yeah, it's intimidating in that boardroom, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I watch that show and I get stressed out. When it comes to that boardroom, I sit there and I get stressed out for you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely it's very stressful, and you're in there for like 2 hours. It's crazy. Even though they only show up for like 20 minutes, you're actually in there for like 2 hours.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So they're drilling you the whole time.
Now, on the celebrity one, the All-Star one, when Brent Michaels was eliminated, did he really cry?
I think he did. I mean, I didn't see him cry, but I heard that he did. He was very emotional about it. And, he took it very seriously.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to. I mean, he's a singer. He's an artist, so he's going to be an emotional person. So, I guess it came out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just like, wow. I guess he figured since he was coming off the win, he was going to win it again.
Yeah, I think so. Otherwise, I don't think he would have volunteered to, play the game again. He would have just been a judge like the others. Right. Yeah, so, you have those high hopes, and once they're crushed, I could imagine, he's an emotional person already, so.
Now, you're like, again, which people probably don't know, you're a businesswoman yourself, outside of the Celebrity Apprentice world.
Yes.
Now,
yeah, I love it. That's what I do day to day. So, I love the business world. I love working I love doing that stuff.
Now, how did you make the jump from being, actress over to that business type person? You're involved in a bunch of different things. I mean, you have like a gaming website and it was a shoe company.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's something I've always been into business. I actually went to school, and when I was going to school, I graduated a year early so I can get out and go to college, and then I got my real estate license, and I've always wanted to. I just like to work a lot. I've always pursued outside things other than acting, and once I was in the acting world, I started up a production company where I was producing films and television and reality shows.
Oh.
I still produce reality shows. And then, businesses like the shoe company, Pantofola d'Oro. We have a great Italian shoe line. It's actually really amazing. Adam Levine actually designed one of our shoe lines, and Jenny Hilfiger designed our women's line, and it's an awesome shoe. And then I'm working with an alkaline water company called Alkaline 88, and I love being in the business world, and it's really rewarding for me.
Now, what's the alkaline water? What is that?
It's alkaline water. It's an 8.8 pH, and it's the best water you could be putting in your body. Do you know anything about being alkaline or anything about alkalinity?
No.
Well, you're going to hear more and more about it. It's finally, doctors are telling people with cancer that they need their bodies to become more alkaline because cancer cannot live in an alkaline environment. So the first thing you could do and the easiest thing you could do is drink alkaline water, as well as eating alkaline foods, which would be like watermelon, lemon, spinach. There's all kinds of great, wonderful alkaline foods, whereas things like coffee and red meat and things like that are acidic. So that's on the other side of the spectrum. So you want your body to be more alkaline. And the easiest way to do that is by drinking alkaline water.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can buy it anywhere. I mean, we have it in all stores, depending on where you live. Where are you guys at? Where are you located?
I'm outside of Philly.
Yeah, I don't know the grocery stores there. Albertsons, Stater Brothers. Do you guys have those? Any of those? Winn-Dixie, Jewel, Walgreens.
We got Walgreens.
I know all the stores are a little different, but if you don't find it in yours, you can get it on Amazon.com. It's called Alkaline 88. It's alkaline water.
See, that amazes me. This whole Amazon.com. We had somebody who was it, Nick? It was Tony Luke. You can get his frozen cheesesteaks on Amazon. Like, I didn't realize Amazon is involved in water and food now.
It's just I know they do everything, and it's the easiest way to get it to people. If if you're trying to get it out to all the stores and you can't get it in every single store where everybody lives, so it's just an easy way. Plus, it's free shipping, the Prime free shipping, so it makes it easy.
See, you got to get like your own Amazon. That would be the perfect business model.
No, it's already been done. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
You don't want to copy somebody. You want to invent something new.
So you got to make it better. You got to take it a step further. I don't know how much further you can go.
Yeah, as long as you're changing it, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to change it somehow.
Now, you also wrote a book too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
you get that on Amazon too.
Of course.
As well as your bookstores, Barnes & Noble and Borders or whatnot. But
so do you have like your own section on Amazon? Do they sell your shoes on Amazon as well?
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
See?
But the shoes you get on PDOItalia.com. If you don't find them in your stores, we have them in lots of boutique stores, some of the Nordstroms, things like that. But there's PDOItalia.com is the easiest. But the book is called Bounce Don't Break, Brande's Guide to Life, Love, and Success. And, you should pick it up and read it. It's great for guys and girls.
Well, you're like having all of that. So, I mean, you must be doing something right.
Well, I've I've been in this business a long time. I've made a lot of mistakes. I definitely would not say that it's been easy, but I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm sure I'm going to make a lot more mistakes. But in the book, I kind of try to tell people about those mistakes to help people not make the same mistakes, and let them know what did work for me. And it's part memoir, part advice, the book.
Very cool. Now, did you ever picture yourself writing a book?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I'd been wanting to write a book for a very long time.
Planned in your future?
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of doing a book right now. It's about living an alkaline lifestyle and alkaline water, and teaching people about the importance of water, and what it does for you, and why you need it, and why you need good water. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Look at that. And I'm sure that'll be available on Amazon.com too.
I'm sure it will.
Now, how about any other shows, reality shows, or anything like that on your radar? Or?
Well, right now I'm in the middle of producing 3 different reality shows, and we have them all at different networks, and we will find out if they're going to get greenlit or not. And if not, then onto the drawing board and onto the next show. But one of them is really looking good. We're really close, so I'm hoping that goes. And that one I'm just producing. I won't be in. But it's going to be a great show. And also starting a horror film in the summer, actually in New York or New Jersey. So I'll be there shooting that. And that'll be fun because I love the whole horror film genre.
Yeah, actually, you were at the Chiller Theater, I guess, the last time around.
Yes.
I think it was.
I was there in October.
Yeah, and I didn't come and see you.
Oh no, were you there?
I was there. Yeah.
You should have came by and said hi.
I know.
Darn it. Well, I'll probably be there again in October.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Yeah, it's always fun, especially the October show. I love it because everybody gets dressed up. It's so much fun.
That show
Freddy Krueger and
right.
Jason and Michael Myers and the whole crew.
Yeah, that show is
fun.
It's grown so tremendously.
Yeah, it's huge now.
Like they're having their other one next month, and the guest list is unbelievable.
I know, it's a great
enormous.
guest list. Mhm.
Do you do a lot of those shows? Type of shows?
Yeah. I mean, I used to do a lot more, but now I just do a few. But yeah, I definitely love doing Chiller. That one's always fun. Plus, it's just because New York, I just have a lot of my fans are from the East Coast, so
sure,
it works out perfectly.
It just seems like those type of shows are really over the last couple of years exploding.
Mhm. Well, yeah. I mean, look at what happened to Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was crazy. I used to be able to go to the show and actually park in the convention center and get a spot. It was no problem. And now it's like you have to park 2 cities away. It's insane.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, even the little shows are growing into big shows, and it's just out of control. It's just, wow. Every time we go to one, like I try to go like on the off days now, like to avoid because it's so many people there, you can't even enjoy it because it's just like you're waiting in line for hours for things.
Oh, yeah. You know what? This Chiller in October, there was a lot of that, and actually Corey was there, Corey Feldman. And people waited in line for hours.
Yeah, I waited for Corey for an hour.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun, though. It's a fun thing.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It's a lot of fun. I love being able to see the fans and people I've worked with, and it's just a great time.
Yeah, I guess it's, I mean, I used to be a pro wrestler, and I've done wrestling conventions, and it's almost like a reunion. So I guess it's the same for you. Like
exactly.
You're saying, Yeah,
Yep.
it's like a family reunion almost.
It is. You see all your old cronies, and you guys, after the show, you go get dinner, have a drink, and it's nice. It's like a reunion.
So, I gotta ask, going back to the Playboy days, what was Hugh like
Sure.
when you first met Hugh Hefner?
Well, it was very exciting because my mom actually named me after a Playboy model. So all my life I wanted to be in Playboy because you're thinking, wow, I got to live up to this name. So, for me it was very exciting to meet him. It was like a dream come true. And same thing going to the mansion for the first time. I just was in such awe looking around me at all the grounds, the beautiful grounds and the animals and the beautiful pool with the waterfalls. It was just very surreal.
Yeah, actually, I was out in California one time. This is 13, 14 years ago, whatever it was. And me and my buddy were out there for a weekend. And we rented a car, and we went to the Playboy Mansion, and we pulled up, and, yeah, they wouldn't let us in. But can you believe that?
Yeah. Yes, because that happened to me too. I did the same thing before I ever went up and met him. My girlfriend and I drove from Northern California all the way up there, got the star map, and went up to the gate, took pictures in front of the rock,
exactly
the talking rock. Yeah. So I can totally relate.
Funny.
I understand.
That is so funny. Yeah, we got the star map and did exactly that. That is funny.
Yeah. Did you guys rent a convertible too, or?
No, that wasn't. No, we actually ended up getting like a Chevy Cavalier or something lame. But it had to be intimidating, though. I mean, this iconic figure of Hef and the whole Playboy Mansion. I mean,
I wasn't intimidated as much as I was excited.
That's cool. I mean, I was intimidated just pulling up to the driveway.
Not me. I wanted to get in there. I was probably saying into the rock, "Can I please talk to Hugh Hefner?"
Now, how about when you got on Baywatch?
Mhm. That was the best job ever.
Really?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, come on. I lived in Hawaii, and I hung out on the beach every day, and I went swimming in the ocean, and I got to work with gorgeous men, and eat whatever I wanted. I mean, it was the best job in the world. Who could ask for a better job than that?
That's funny. Now, how about when you're doing, do they put you like through like a lifeguard training or anything like that to make it real?
Oh, absolutely. In the audition there was a swim test as well. So right after the last final screen test, we had to swim and do a swim test. And then once we got to Hawaii, we had Brian, I'm going to not do his name justice, Keolani. He did all of our swim training. I mean, we had to do CPR training. We'd go under the water to the very bottom of these big boulders that would take us down, and we'd walk across the bottom of the ocean holding these boulders. We'd all get underwater and hold our breath underwater and see, and each person would end up popping up to see who could hold their breath the longest. And it was always myself and Jason Momoa would be the two that would stay underwater the longest. And it was just intensive training. I mean, there was all this crazy underwater training and rescuing and CPR. It was pretty intense.
Wow. Yeah, I thought to myself, I'm like, I hope they didn't just like, here's your little red bathing suit, and here's your little red the life preserver thing they make you guys use. I'm like, I hope they actually like put them through some type of training.
You have to, because, I mean, they took it very seriously. You had to make it look like you knew what you were doing in a rescue. They didn't want to look like you're just some girl flailing around trying to rescue someone. Plus, I mean, you're in the middle of the ocean. They want to make sure you can take care of yourself and you know how to really swim, and because there's currents and there's all kinds of crazy things that could happen while you're out there shooting. If you fall off the boat into the water, I mean, there's just so many things. They want to make sure that you're a great swimmer.
See, I was
like you're in some
for
pool.
That show. I would have been perfect for that show because I can't swim. So you guys could have saved me.
I know. Why didn't you go on it?
I would have drowned so fast, you guys wouldn't have had a chance to save me.
I could have given you CPR to revive you.
I don't think your husband would like that or my wife, so.
Well, it's acting. We had to do it all the time.
So, as a matter of fact, your husband was a pro football player.
Mhm.
And he played for the Broncos. This past Super Bowl, was he, like, upset?
Yes and no. Like, we were rooting, obviously, for the Broncos. However, we do a pool with squares, and our squares were wanting us to have the Seahawks win, so it worked in our favor. Yeah.
Now, does he like play fantasy football and stuff like that?
No, not fantasy football. Definitely not. Mm-mm.
Because I always wonder.
No, he does other types of pools.
Like, can you imagine like football players like playing fantasy football and they're like getting pissed off on the field if somebody, you know what I mean? Somebody's getting a touchdown or something. You're like, yeah, you're screwing up my fantasy team.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that. I mean, he does other types of pools. He just doesn't do the fantasy. Because with the fantasy, you have to, like, constantly be, I guess, like, changing your team or something like that, right? Yeah, so he prefers, like, knockout pools and things like that.
Gotcha.
But,
that's fine.
That's how he kind of keeps it exciting, I think, and remembering the game and feels like he's still in it.
So, now, what's he do now?
He deals with like water property in Colorado, actually. So
okay.
He still goes back and forth there.
Interesting. So, let's see what else I got here. Scanning over my notes.
Well, hey, I know I can ask, going back to Baywatch, is there anything that really just stands out? I know there was, an awful lot of guests and actors and people coming through there, but do you have a favorite memory, time or something like that?
Well, you asked me the question, two things popped in my head.
Okay.
One time when my co-star Scott Plank and I were in the ocean, and it was nighttime, and we were doing like a scene where we ran out in the middle of the ocean. It was like our first kiss. We're doing the scene, and they kind of were like rushing it, and they had all the water safety people kind of around us, and we did the scene, and we come out, and then the water safety guy came up and said, well, you were surrounded by sharks.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And so that's why it dawned on me, okay, that's why all the water safety guys were surrounding us. Like, what the heck? But thankfully nothing happened. But stuff like that happened. And they didn't even tell us they wanted to get their shot. So they hurried up and got their shot, and then we got out. So that happened. And then another thing happened, which I always think of fondly. But Alicia Richter, who was one of my co-stars, of which now Alicia Piazza, we were on the jet ski, and she's behind me, and I'm in the front, and we're on this very, very serious mission. We're going to rescue somebody. I have this serious face, and the camera's in front of me, and she puts her hands up in front of me and pulls down my swimsuit. So my boobs just start bouncing, and the camera's on me, and here I was with the serious face, and now I'm like half naked. I'm like, you bitch, and I push her off the jet ski. I hope someday they use that as a blooper. Of course, blur things out, but just that whole funny scene of her falling off the jet ski. And then, of course, we had to redo the scene, and I had to try to keep a straight face now in the second take. So we were always doing funny, crazy little tricks like that on each other, little pranks.
How about Starsky and Hutch?
Oh, yeah. Awesome experience, being able to work with two of the most great comedians out there, comedic actors. Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson, and then the director, Todd Phillips, who's amazing. It was an awesome experience, and it was great. I mean, practically the whole scene that you see was improv. Most of that scene was not even what was on the script. And they didn't even tell me they were going to improv. They just started improving, and I got to improv with two of the best, and it was just a great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was totally cool.
Now, which would you prefer doing more of? Would you prefer doing more of a reality show at this point in time, or actual acting?
I guess it depends on the reality show, but I would rather do acting, scripted acting. But, usually when I was acting for so long and the opportunity came up for The Surreal Life, it was the very first ever celebrity reality show out there. And I was putting it off. I was putting off reality shows for so long because I thought it was just like a phase. And finally, I was just like, okay, it's not going away. If you can't beat them, join them. So finally I did it. And now, obviously, you can't get away from it. Reality shows are easier in the sense that you're just yourself. So you don't have to worry about anything, whereas acting, you have to really you have to memorize your lines, you have to get into character. I mean, it's a lot of work. But it's also more fulfilling. So.
Now, how about like a Dancing with the Stars? Have you ever been approached by something like that?
I would love to do Dancing with the Stars. Unfortunately, they don't take anybody that would be going from the Celebrity Apprentice. You have to have done another show after the Celebrity Apprentice that they can promote, because they don't want to promote. They will. If you notice, they've never ever promoted anyone that's been on The Apprentice as they've been on The Apprentice, because it's in competition with them. So, right. For instance, I would have to be on the Housewives of San Diego, let's say, so that they can say Brande from the Housewives of San Diego. They don't want to say Brande from Celebrity Apprentice.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's unfortunate, because there's a lot of people that have been wanting to do that show and they can't if they've been on the Celebrity Apprentice.
Huh.
Wow. Hey, Bay, so I'm sitting here and I'm trying to, I'm running down Baywatch Hawaii in my head, and I'm trying to remember, different characters and stuff, and it just occurred to me that you have a Game of Thrones connection.
I do?
You do, right? Jason Momoa.
Oh, yeah. What, is he on that show?
He was one of the big stars of the first season, absolutely.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, he's awesome. He's doing awesome. He has definitely taken his acting career to the next level. He definitely, once he did Conan, the Barbarian, he just took off.
His new series, The Red Road, is amazing.
That's the new one, right? It's kind of, is it an indie type show?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's on Sundance, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was really great. My husband started watching the beginning of it, and I saw him. I'm like, oh, my gosh. And his wife's on there, too, I think, right?
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so he's doing great.
It's crazy. Me and Bay talk about this all the time, how sort of just interconnected everybody is, and especially those shows. There are just so many actors when you count in guest stars and everything like that. Went through, Baywatch and Baywatch Hawaii and Baywatch Nights. Just so many people.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
That's gonna be kind of cool though when you look at that and just see how everything spider webs out and how everybody connects.
Mhm. Oh yeah. I have so many connections with everybody. You ask me about anybody, and I definitely can. I probably will have met him, worked with him, or at least 1 degree of separation for sure.
Which I guess that
a long time.
That comes in handy when you were doing like Celebrity Apprentice, because that's basically what they make you do. Is you're going through your Rolodex of a phone and call, and yeah.
Yep. So true.
That's crazy. Well, anything else you want to promote, plug?
No, I mean just if you can try. I'm updating my website, but you can still go on my website if you ever want to find out where I'm going to be, what's coming up next. It's just my name.com, branderoderick.com. And if you want to look up the water, it's alkaline88.com if you want to try to find the alkaline water, as well as our shoes are pdoitalia.com. They're called Pantofola d'Oro, which is golden slipper in Italian.
Nice. Look at
Yeah.
that. I'm Italian. I didn't even have any idea what that meant.
What? How could you not know that? Well,
people
thanks,
say that to
guys,
me all
for
the time. They're
having
like,
me.
"You don't." Oh, thanks for coming on finally. And
yeah.
before I let you go, can I get you to cut a quick ID too?
Sure.
Whatever you want to say. This is Brande Roderick, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Okay. Hi, guys. This is Brande Roderick, and you are listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Thank you. That was
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Thanks so much, Brande.
Thank you.
And,
I'm glad we finally made it work.
Yeah, me too. And hopefully, I'll see you at Chiller sometime.
I know, definitely. You better come say hi this time.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Take care. Talk to you later.
Yep. Take care.
You
okay,
too.
bye.
All right, everybody. There she goes. The one and only Miss Brande Roderick. We've now had a Playmate of the Year on the show. A Baywatch
Absolutely.
babe.
Baywatch
And
babe.
a Celebrity Apprentice. And the thing is, after all that, which you got to think, like, people probably think, all right, she was on Baywatch, she was a Playmate. She's probably not that smart. But then she's on Celebrity Apprentice, and she proves that she is smart. And then she's like a successful businesswoman, which, again, double proves that she's smart. So,
right.
kudos to her. Good for Brande. Brandy's totally driven.
She is.